Hello. Today, I'm with someone who is from Europe, a European, in fact, a German person. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Magnus, I'm 27. I came here to meet Forrest.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing that people all over the world can really come together through this. Like, we really understand each other and what we're going through as transgender people, right?
Yeah.
And the conversations have been very interesting. And one of the interesting things have been, what it's like in Germany, the process. In another land, how do you do this hormone transition? What's it like?
It's pretty much that you have to prove your identity,
Yeah.
which is hard because you have to go to a psychiatrist for people like me who are often shy and not very selbstsicher.
Comfortable?
Comfortable. Yeah, they treat you like they want you to force you to prove that you are really transgender.
Yeah.
And they ask very uncomfortable questions.
Right. And it's interesting because it's a psychiatrist. So here sometimes you have to see a counselor or psychologist.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more flexible. The time that you have to spend with this person is also flexible. What is sort of the cultural response, like where you live, the people that you're around? Are they familiar with this topic? What's that like?
Yeah, this is a good question because everyone I talked to was 100% positive about this. It's interesting because I didn't expect someone to be angry or and I think if you are comfortable with yourself and coming out is so much easier.
Yes.
And I was very surprised because people said to me, yeah, I know another person who went through this process, and people from I thought these people are rednecks, but they are so open.
Cool.
And, yeah.
I think that what you said is so important. Like, the more comfortable you are with yourself talking about it and coming out, the more people do accept this and are they're ready with you. It feels like. If you're okay. I was gonna say with the doctors and the that whole thing, it seems like you are required to wait longer. Usually, there's a lot more waiting period. So, so in your timeline, you go to the doctor. You know you're trans. You know you want to transition. You're so ready, and they say, okay, maybe in 1 year you will be ready, right?
Yeah.
Is it a year?
You
or?
have to wait for 1 year to go on T.
Yeah.
But I was lucky because my psychiatrist just gave me this receipt the second time I went to him. And
the second time.
Yeah.
So I do see some similarities.
It's interesting because he was like he treated me like he was not sure that I'm trans, but he gave me the paper, and that is special. I was surprised.
Yeah, so maybe it was a little mind game he was playing with you.
He's not very concerned about his clients, so
yeah, he's like,
just yeah.
Well, you must have said something to convince him, right? I mean, you must have had something where he thought, yeah, I guess this is probably okay. Yeah. And now you are 5 weeks on Nebido, right? And what's that, Nebido? Because here we often have the shots, and I do these weekly shots. What is it you do?
I just go to my endocrinologist and have a shot, and then I go out after 5 minutes and it's done.
5 minutes. And for all these things that you're doing, all the therapy, all the hormones, are you paying for this?
No, I don't pay anything. You only have to pay 10 euros when you go to the drugstore.
Okay, drugstore.
Yeah, but that's all.
Okay. Yeah. And do you notice you're also involved with some groups where there are other transgender people? Is that true? Or
Yeah.
how is it How is it with those groups? Do you relate to each other? What's the story?
Yeah, we didn't talk much about feelings or thoughts. Just
Oh, you were saying the practical,
stuff.
the technical and practical aspects.
But it's interesting because when people go there and they are pretty, it feels a bit strange to go there. Because you think all these men, I'm just a boy, or
you're like a boy among men when you're new to the trans group, and it feels like that for sure.
Yeah, but I was very comfortable after 5 minutes.
In Germany, there's this famous Olympic athlete. What's his name again?
Balian Buschbaum.
Balian Buschbaum. And a lot of people have told me of him. He created a lot of visibility in Germany about transgender people. It seems like culturally there is an openness to it. Would you say that queer population, homosexual people, is it not as big of a deal in Europe or in Germany, or is it the same? Is it just depend? Because here there's a lot of loud hatred and so forth. Do you think there's a difference between the United States and Germany or Europe with this?
I really don't know. But I just thought that it's interesting because gay people, they seem more like it's a fashion. People think that it's a fashion, and they treat you in Europe. Yeah. In Europe,
okay. Like it's just very popular, so people are trying it, like that. Oh, that person wants. Oh, like they're crazy kind of.
Yeah, and when you're trans, people don't do this because they think you're. Oh, it's so hard. It's hard to be like this and go through this.
Oh, so they have sympathy, more sympathy.
Yeah,
for
think
transgender
so.
people.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Wow, wow, that's interesting. So what you're saying is that they think in Europe they really see that this is a disease, kind of like a physical thing.
Yeah.
But homosexuality, they're like, but those people are just a little bit strange and crazy or funny.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm really glad I was able to talk with you because to hear the way it is internationally, being this way, I mean, in every country, in every place, on every remote island, I'm sure there have been trans people, there are trans people. This is not something that only white people are trans, or only in, these Western lands. I mean, there are lands where people are transgender and they don't even have the words or the ability to go to the doctor and make changes, and that would be so hard, and I wonder how they do it, right? Because we were also talking just with language. What is the word for transgender in German?
It's the same, transgender.
Transgender. So it kind of, is that an American word? Is that an English word? Transgender? Gender sounds like an English word. So this English word is being used in Europe, and that's like what the doctors are using too?
Yeah, they use transsexuell, but transgender people don't use that because it sounds medical stuff.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Well, I am learning a lot every day, and I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm so thankful. So thank you. This is a good visit.